Well, time for a quick little update on the car and the project here. As you see, it got the cold air intake on so that the map sensor, MAF sensor got hooked up there and finished getting that hooked up and a couple things with that. Gotten the rest of it buttoned up and got some oil in, an oil filter. O'Reilly's, the local store, did not carry the 5W50 this takes. That was special order, but I did get just a cheap oil filter to put on there. Normally I'd get a better one, but I just got a cheap oil filter because once I know that everything is good and good with the engine, then I got to take it back out and take it apart over the winter here to have the heads sent off, as I think I mentioned before, to have them ported, and I want to get forged diamond pistons and rods in the engine. So no reason to get a expensive oil filter for it. But end up having to order the oil from Amazon, and UPS actually delivered it, I don't know where, but not to my house, but somewhere else, and finally got that debacle straightened out on Thursday and got my oil back. This is a track pack. The engine came out of a track pack 2014 GT500, so it's got the extra coolers on it. So the normal GT500 takes 8.5 quarts of oil, but being the track pack with the cooler on it, it's got a little bit extra line to go through, so that it actually takes 9.5 quarts. So had to buy it by the case, so I got 12 quarts of oil. And I got that and got it put in. Had a couple weird things with the battery. I still had the battery from the car from the rollover, and charged it on my battery tender. Went to put it in, went to turn the key on to check everything, and stuff kind of came on, but then it started acting weird, and so I kind of messed with it a little bit and went to try and start it and just got tick, 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 tick. So I thought maybe the starter, got something happened in the accident with the starter, so I pulled the starter out, which having tube K member instead of the factory one with long tube headers made that easier. I didn't have to rip everything apart. I was able to get it out and around the tubular K member and out the header without any problems. So that was super nice. Definitely a good idea there with long tube headers to have that tubular K member. But so I was able to get that out and took it in. O'Reilly's tested it. Nope, said everything is good. I tried the battery from the '07. It acted even stranger with the battery from the '07. So I don't know, maybe something's going on with the battery from the '07 too, from the car itself. So I took the battery back. O'Reilly's tested it and said, yep, bad battery. So I had to get a brand new battery for the car. Definitely seems to be better since then. So we have big news with the car. So we'll stick the ground on here. So we got the ground on the car. And again, got some lights here in the car. And even though I did get that seat belt, I think I mentioned in the last video, it turns out I actually didn't have to. Once I got some power here in the car, the seat belt now works again. So it was not damaged from the accident. So in the newer cars, it looks like you do have to have some power for the seat belt for it to actually work. So excuse me here for a second. So come around, get the key in. So we fire up, got the console working, which is great. Couple things here I got to work on. It thinks the doors are open. The trunk is actually open, but it thinks the passenger driver's side doors are open. Lower tire pressure there, of course, because there's no tires on it at the moment, so no TPS, so the traction system, so still got to figure out a little bit with that, but everything seems to be working beyond that. There's no seat in the car here, so forgive me for a second. And she fires up. It is alive. So we are running. I got no mufflers on, so she's running long tubes with straight pipe, so she is loud. But as you can see, it is running. We have success. So we are running. So I don't know, I might have to reset. We got some lights on the dash here that are giving some messages. So signal open, traction control, stuff like that. But I may have to, from the accident, I know some of that stuff may have gotten messed up a little bit. So I got to get an ODB2 reader and get on. So I didn't want to run it too long also, because since it is so loud, don't want my neighbors to get super upset. But as you can see, I found out the car has got 16,915 miles on it. So that is interesting, because it only had about 8,000, or yeah, I'm trying to think. God, it did not have very many miles on it. I think it only had 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it, from what the papers, when he got it, the last guy that had it, so he put on like 13-some thousand miles in a year, which is crazy that he put on that many miles in a year on the car, but looks like he did. So I didn't run it too long. Didn't want to run it too long because I do have oil in it, but I have nothing in here for the supercharger, for the coolant, and nothing in the radiator either for coolant, because since, like I said, I'm taking it apart again, I didn't want to put all that in there and then drain it out again. Also, since the radiator is brand new, I do want to hopefully get all the old coolant out of the engine when I take it apart, and I want to run the Evans waterless coolant to be a little bit better with that. But the video's running a little bit long, so didn't want to make it too long of a video, but just wanted to let everybody know and show everybody that we had big success this week, finally, after almost a year of this. The engine does run. She fired right up, as you heard. So definitely super excited and super proud that she is fired up and running. So now the fun, got to take it back out, take it back down, he said, for the winter, to get the have the head Sunway ported and like I said, a bunch of that other stuff. But just wanted to share everybody the great news of this weekend, that she is alive and she does run. It sounds definitely pretty healthy. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.